Greetings everyone, this is Group 4. We are going to talk about a brief survey and investigations of hybrid beamforming for millimeter wave in 5G massive MIMO systems. Our group members are consist of 5 people which include me, Devina, Anissa, Mazrin, Nur Amira, and Nur Fatiha Fatin. 5G technologies are able to provide a massive network capacity. It also able to provide higher multi-gigabyte per second peak speed data. But in order to provide higher speed of data, it needed more numbers of antennas, which could lead to more power consuming. By using hybrid beamforming and MIMO system, it could meet the energy efficiency by the 5G technologies. This paper also tried to solve the rising issue that came from the 5G technology.
Background for this project. These projects are basically implements the hybrid beamforming for improvising the network capacity and coverage of mobile communication on next generation 5G. The techniques is based on applying millimeter wave developed from a system called multiple input multiple output MIMO. This study proposed the technique to reduce the high cost and energy consumption by specifying a considerable power and controlling the distributed power. This project working process focused on several scopes including hybrid beamforming channel, millimeter wave propagation, low-cost hybrid digital analog beamforming for multi-user massive MIMO, transmission power, and also included the power consumption for millimeter wave massive MIMO. This project also includes the scope of beamforming and the small set and also develop a numerical result. This project exploits the full potential of a massive MIMO system, which by applying hybrid beamforming techniques via its techniques of digital pre-coding. These people also try to investigate the feasibility of hybrid massive MIMO system, which to fulfill the demands related to energy efficiency for 5G cellular network.
Okay, the issue that we found in the journal is that insufficient in both path loss, latency distribution, and penetration loss is an explanation why a high data rate cannot be achieved. Second, additional problem exists due to high cost and energy consumption since the combination of analog and digital hybrid decrease the RF frequency. Third, in order to suppress path loss, the use of dispersed power in small cell by defining significant power and manipulating the distributed power.
There are a few goals that need to be achieved in this experiment. Millimeter wave is a promising strategy in improving network capability and next generation coverage, which is focusing on use of a large number of spectrum resources in mobile communication. The proposed hybrid beamforming strengthens the channel via the number of radio frequency change by reducing the hardware complexity by transmitting a large number of antennas and analog to digital converters. Low-cost hybrid digital analog beam formation is very important for reducing hardware complexity in order to minimize circuit power consumption due to amplifier, data converter, mixer or phase changer, where the link relies on every radio frequency chain connected to every antenna while transmitting a signal for all digital transceivers. Massive multiple input, multiple output with millimeter wave formation is to improve service quality by increasing the efficiency of spectrum and electricity. Hybrid beamforming will boost the channel, pick the minimal number of radio frequency chains, reduce the complexity of the hardware, and use the huge number of transmission antennas. Hybrid massive multiple input, multiple output systems have a tremendous opportunity to meet the anticipated demands for power efficiency in 5G cellular networks.
Next, the methodology. This research paper was conducted in order to reduce the high cost and energy consumptions for the distributed powers in the small cell to suppress path loss by specifying a considerable power and controlling the distributed power. In order to gather the necessary data for the solutions of the issues, the researcher used both qualitative and quantitative approach. First, the researcher proposed two different frequency bands for path loss from 2 to 28 GHz and 2 to 73.5 GHz in an urban microenvironment to predict path loss at different distance for case study method. The data collected is compared to the theory formula of power density and receive power. Next, the observations. All the relevant research related to the issue is collected, observed, and the data is compared to provide better solutions. Third is simulations. In order to simulate the data collected, Monte Carlo simulations is used to show the performance of total transmission power in dense small cells. The accuracy of the findings and conclusions is depend on the quality of the data simulations representing the numerical result.
Okay, for the result, from figure 1 in the journal, it showed that high cost and high hardware complexity may be increased by eliminating the devotion of an unconnected RF gen for all antenna based on the use of large MIMO baseband recording in dense small cell. Second, the author also indicate that the beamforming baseband can be improved by decreasing propagation path loss among the information path. For figure 2, energy consumption continues to improve as the maximum SINR is high, meaning that each EU attached to a single base station does not affect the user association and decrease the transmitting capacity. And also, the author also declared that low cost and low power can be accomplished by having a load balancing property in order to raise the EE under the restriction power management and the QoS specification.
Can be concluded by this paper research is that MIMO millimeter wave beamforming are used to enhancing the spectral and the energy efficiency. Hybrid beamforming can improve the channel by choosing the minimum number of radio frequency chains, reducing the hardware complexity, use huge number of transmitting antenna. By improving the hybrid beamforming, it can exploit a larger bandwidth. Hybrid massive MIMO system can meet the energy efficiency demanding by the 5G technologies. Thank you.